I think the worst of the experience of being in this pain and being through all these challenges that came with it was the not knowing. Då kör vi. Vad ska vi göra nu då? My name is Emma Carlsson. I am born in Mariestad in southern Sweden. And as long as I can remember, I remember cycling. And as I got older, being outdoors definitely grew to become one of my biggest interests in life. My father, on the other hand, he's born in Brazil, which always made me curious about South America. And I knew that I wanted to visit this continent, but I also knew that I wanted to make it special. So when I followed the Swedish adventurer Fredrika Ek, who cycled around the world, and I saw her images of the Andes and the 5,000-meter high passes she crossed, I just knew that this was the way that I was going to visit the continent. So that is exactly what I aimed for and did. It was after having cycled 2/3 of the continent that I started to develop these intense cramps and pain in my hands, my arms, my legs and my feet. And 3 years later on, it's still an ongoing process to find answers after several visits to hospitals and doctors. And on top of that is also the mental challenge of figuring out what's going on in my body and not knowing. Because when all test results show me that everything is okay, but what I feel is anything but okay, it makes it even more difficult to handle the pain that I experience. So taking part of Adventure Academy did therefore set me up with the right tools to get back into adventuring on my new terms. And for my solo adventure, my eyes immediately turned north to the Arctic Post Road route. A route combining fun gravel and old history of the old post road leading up to Alta in northern Norway, with a border crossing of the different type. And a visit to the beautiful views and stomach-tickling trails of the Illes National Park in Finland. Because in the midst of finding out what causes the pain, it is finally concluded that cycling would not cause any further harm to my body, which made a two-wheeled adventure an appreciated and necessary boost through this rehab process. The reason why I love cycling is the sense of freedom and independence that it gives me. That it's just me and my bicycle. And I love how I can pack it with gear to stay overnight and travel longer distances. And it's especially during those moments that I love the feeling of appreciation it gives me. The appreciation for the nature I'm surrounded with, for the possibility to interact with locals, and to take part in new cultures. But also for making me value the limited food and water I carry and have access to. For the protection of four walls after several days of rain and cold. And for that refreshing shower after a little too many days surviving on wet wipes and cold legs. So what I love about cycling, and especially cycling adventures, is the appreciation of all those little things that I normally would take for granted. I know that it was never about reaching Colombia, but rather about all those encounters and experiences along the way. But it would today be an even bigger victory to go back and finish off that last third of the continent, because doing so would be more about the joy of having a body that's capable and strong enough to do so, rather than being able to tick off that box saying, I have cycled the length of South America. So yes, if the time is right and my body allows me to, then I would gladly cycle that last third of the continent.